good morning, good evening, good anything, whatever, wherever you
Good
are.
something.
Good something.
Hiya. How are you? This is Carrie and...
This is Kohán.
And it's time to chill because it's Friday.
No.
I mean, we are recording this on a different
Thursday.
day, but
yes.
you are seeing this on
But you are
Friday.
watching
No,
on...
Yeah. I'm still on Wednesday.
Yes, you are Wednesday.
I'm still Wednesday.
It's my Thursday and you are watching on Friday.
Exactly.
You know.
So confusing.
So what I wanted to say about this typical, how are you? I'm fine, but recently, I don't know how is it with you, but almost all of my friends, they say mama. You know, in Japanese, mama means so-so.
So-so.
Do you say so-so in English? You say, right? Do you?
Yeah, but nobody say how are you so-so. No, nobody would say that.
Yeah, but for example, years before, it was just like that. Yes, I'm fine. Everything is great. So we were lying. And now I feel recently, no, everyone says mama. Of course, maybe also because of Corona, but I don't know. People are tired.
Right. I think saying mama became like kind of a fashion. It's the same in English. Like, how's it going? It goes. That's in English. It's like it's more. You know what I mean? It's like instead of saying I'm good, just say like it's all right. Like that kind of. You know. Yes, I think you're right that people are a little bit tired, and that's where.
If someone says so, do you go deeper? Do you ask them, already? What's up? Do you go deeper?
Depends. Depending on depending on the person, depending on everything else. But I have a friend who says like, I hate the question how are you, because nobody's actually interested in the answer.
Oh yes.
And that is a little bit true, I guess, but then again, it's nice to be nice too, so like I'm not so hardcore about if you don't say how are you, then what do you say?
Yeah, actually, in my case, I'm just thinking about usually how I say. If I say, "Oh, how are you?" so of course it's a lie. I mean, okay, maybe now I'm busted. Maybe next time I will meet someone and say, "Oh, how are you?" Maybe already it's obvious, but if you really meet someone who you care and how are you? So if you ask with a normal voice, actually, even if you go deeper, I'm very interested.
Yeah, but that's different, isn't it? It's like like you and I are completely the opposite. For example, to me, if I care about this person, I would be like, oh my god, hi, how are you? So good to see you. That's where I would be. Whereas if I see somebody that I don't necessarily care so much about the answer, to my how are you, I would be like, hi, how are you? You know what I mean? So it's like you couldn't even say, like, if somebody asks you how are you in the most excited manner, it's a fake or real or whatever, because it's so personal, so it could be difficult to gauge. So what's the answer to this? I don't know. I would say I always try to answer honestly. Whenever people ask me that, I just said it, whatever that I feel like saying.
Alright, what shall we talk about today?
You were saying earlier the interesting thing that we should probably talk about, the musicians and the relationships.
Relationships.
Ooh. That's a sticky subject.
Oh yes.
And then I'm looking straight into the camera right now. I think we both should do that because it's a very serious matter. No, but I think having a relationship as a musician, I think it's essential in a way, because it's like the most human thing to do, it's the most natural thing to do and the most human thing to do. And then it's almost vital to have that experience and have that heartache and joy and happiness and sadness and anger and all these things to play whatever the music that we play, right? But at the same time, our job makes the relationship sometimes not the easiest because we don't have the set schedule, or we tend to be a little bit crazy.
Yes, you know, actually, also this is part of why I wanted to speak about this, because there are many layers and many aspects of this topic. But for example, there are two type of people. Okay, there are many type of people, but one type of musician says that no, I dedicated my life to music, and that's my priority, and that's what I want to use my time for. So actually, also, I think once my wife told me that maybe her first boyfriend or yes, maybe first boyfriend, they broke up. They loved each other, but they broke up because both of them, they wanted to focus on their instrument.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for example, I always tell my students that get a boyfriend, girlfriend, but go into a relationship, because there are many things that you only can learn through a relationship.
Yeah.
So yes, actually, this is also a good question. Does it has to be a romantic relationship or any social relationship? What is the advantage of a romantic relationship? Is there any advantage of the romantic relationship?
Yes, because love comes in different forms, right? Like love that you feel for your friend, love that you feel for your dog, love that you feel for your parents, love that you feel for, you know, your significant other, your, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. That's all different form of love, and then it's all really important. What?
What's love? Hurt me. What is love? So what is love? Actually, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
Short notice about this. In Hungarian, we have two words. In Japanese, you have only one word, I think. But in Hungarian, we say szerelem is for romantic love. Mm-hmm. Actually, so already you never use this word for any relationship with family or friend. And szeretet, it's a little different ending. It means love. It means the purest thing. So actually, also people like to say, Hungarian people like to say that love turns to love. So szerelem turns to szeretet. So in long relationship, you start with a romantic love, and later it goes to love based on respect and based on the mutual things that you build up together. So for example, in our language, in our culture, this is a very obvious thing that we make difference between love and love.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, already from childhood, I knew the difference, because this is like, how to say, part of the culture, part of the education. But how did you feel? So when was the first time when you realized the difference between romantic love and, for example, family love? Can you recall?
Oh my god, I feel like it's forever. Like you said, it's like from the child time, I knew the difference. I could feel the difference, as in, like, could I explain that in words? You know, maybe not, but there is a distinctive
How old were you when you first fell in love?
Now that I look back, I think high school. Mm-hmm. When I was in high school. Yeah.
That was the first.
I mean, I did have like this, you know, other whatever cutesier feeling of love when I was in elementary school or whatever. But I don't now. That's why I said now that I look back, I don't think those count. Those are like, you know, whatever. But like the real love ish, it's probably high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 15, 16, something like that maybe.
I think already in kindergarten. Maybe I was 4 or something, and I bought a ring for the groupmate. Yeah.
I love it. I love this story. Okay.
And I remember I was in love through the kindergarten. I couldn't even describe to myself what is this feeling, but I was so attracted to that classmate and groupmate.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, when I went home, I think I did. No, actually, maybe I was fantasizing about her because I told my grandfather to help me to get a ring. So definitely she was in my mind. I don't know, and also in elementary school, I wrote love letters.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, never with good response, but I tried to.
That is so cute. Oh my god, I could cry.
Right. So, and you know, never the good response. I wrote beautiful letters. I put it in her desk and nothing.
Oh.
Women are evil.
Oh, I'm sorry. On behalf of all the ladies that broke your heart, I say I'm sorry.
And also, when I was in high school, I was always in love. And and always without good response. And I think, for example, this really affected my musicality. Because you know, so all the passionate composers are always about this kind of they want something, they have the wish, but they cannot get.
They cannot get. Right, yeah, absolutely. That's why I think, and in that type of feeling, we can only feel that from love. It's different from you really want to buy that clothes but I cannot get it feeling. Does that make sense? It's a very different kind of a much more fundamental, it shakes you to your core kind of a feeling. And regardless of, you know, you are 4 years old and you are like madly in love to a point that you thought that you want to buy her ring, you know what I mean? So it's like that's a feeling that I think it is we can't substitute it with anything else. Therefore I think we need to, I am with you, that I also encourage all of my students to, you know, have a relationship, and not just random whatever, but just, you know, to be able to be in love is such an amazing feeling, even if that didn't work out in the end. You know, I think it's a beautiful thing. And like your wife, you know, who decided to break up because you know, the first boyfriend, because you both wanted to spend more time with instrument, and that's fine too. Like, people do that, and like I'm not in the place to have a relationship because I want to focus on my career. That's what people say. It's a typical thing that we hear, and that's okay to do that. You know, if that serves you, but I wouldn't, you know, stuck there for too long.
About another aspect, what I only just now I realized because of speaking about this, that for example, recently having a family, having a kid, and actually even just a relationship is already in time management, it's very similar, because you have the decision to, do I take my time for the people who I love, who you love, or you use that time for yourself, not because you are selfish or something, but you know, very basic human wishes are eating, sleeping, sexuality, and to develop. So to develop is just a basic wish, like eating or sleeping.
Right.
And for example, recently, every time when I have to make the decision, okay, do I take some more time with the kid or family, or do I do my job what I love? So I don't even like to call it a job, because everything what I do, I love it amazingly. I love it. And to spend time with family or do the job, it's not so actually sacrifice something. It also gives something to develop. So when I choose one over the other, actually there is no perfect choice. In any case,
right.
You regret. Always you regret, but from this you can learn. For example, if you keep sacrificing only one thing, for example, if you sacrifice your relationship for your development, then that's a real sacrifice, and actually you cannot learn. I mean, if you keep the same pattern. So what is the good balance in how you use your time for relationship or for yourself? Is there a good balance?
I think it's very personal. I think it's, maybe the good balance for me might not be the good balance for you, or what is your good balance for you. Also, it's depending on where you are in the stage of your life at the moment. All of those things comes into play. So I feel like it's not easy to just say like, this is the formula, 1 plus 1 equals 3, and that's the way it is. You know what I mean? I don't think that's how it works so clearly. But I'm
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Please continue, but also reflect on this, please. One kind of rule what I always keep in my mind is I saw many people to regret not to be social when they get, for example, over 60 or something. So people who really dedicate their life to job. Of course, it's not really a problem for musicians, but especially for office worker or someone, especially in Japan, when the business samurai goes morning to night in the office, and yoku ganbatta ne, how you say,
like job well done kind of thing.
Yes, I did my best. But who doesn't know, in Japan, to work hard is a kind of proud. So it's a very, very cool thing.
It's an honor.
Yes, it's an
honorable thing to do, right?
Yes, and one hand it's true, and I really admire this kind of thinking. In another hand, I saw many burned out Japanese people over the work. So actually, once I was in a nomikai. Nomikai means
it's like a party. It's like a drink party.
Yes, but how to say, after concert or after some event, it's more like an official something where you have to show up.
Right.
I mean, of course, it can be fun, but we were at a nomikai, at a party, and the guy just next to me, he just said, "Oh, now my baby just born," and I said, "What? Then
why are you here? Why don't you go home?"
Yes,
right.
Yes, and because this is company, and no, and I had to say to actually ask the bosses of the guy to, what is it? Just let him go, because in the Japanese culture, if the boss doesn't go home, you don't go home.
You don't go home, right? Exactly. Yeah.
And there are beautiful aspects of this kind of mentality. At the same time, yes, it can make you burn out. And in this case, I have to say, when you are young, you want to sacrifice social relationships to your career because you feel that's important. And this is what I try to remind myself every day, that in long term I don't want to regret this. And please react on this, that I agree that really there is no perfect, and everyone works with a different kind of rules, but at the end of the day, we all regret if we give up being social in the early age. So
absolutely, I agree. So yes, I mean, when I said there's, the balance is different between you and me, it's a very personal thing, I still do think so. Having said that, you're right. You do see so many people that completely get burned out, and then the ones that get completely burned out are the ones who focus too much on their careers and their advancement in company, or advancement in a work setting or in a music setting, whatever. If you go too far into that direction, then you might even achieve it. You might even achieve that goal. You might even win a competition, or you might get a promotion in company, but still you feel really, really, really lonely and sad, and that's when the addiction starts. You get depressed and you get addicted to certain things that you don't want to be addicted to, all these things. So we always have to remember that we are a social animal. We are. Like, oh, I'm an antisocial person, whatever. Like, you can say all you want that, but as a species, we are a social animal. As much as individuality became a cool thing in the last 100 years or whatever, and then individuality is important. I'm a full supporter of individuality and independency and all that. But at the same time, we need the support network. We need this group. We don't need to have a lot of friends. We don't need to have a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends and partners and whatever. But we definitely do need people around us. We do. So, yes, Japan is definitely a extreme case of that, where people had to work so many hours, and like you said, it's in one hand, it's a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful, honorable, respectful work ethic that people have. And sometimes I don't get it when my American student don't get it, or you know what I mean, because I came from that, so like I tend to have that DNA inside me. But we also have to be careful, because if you go too far into one direction, then you suffer a lot more. I think that's why love is, at the end of the day, it's just so important, and then it's just so human. It's much more important, or much more, not important, what's the word I'm looking for? Much more substantial than materialistic development, or the advancement, materialistic advancement. The promotions, more money, whatever, winning the competitions, releasing another album, all these things. It's great. I'm not talking down at those things. Those are amazing, and those gives you great amount of fulfillment. But I think the fulfillment that you get from love, the fulfillment that you get from your family, from your friend, all of that surpasses anything else. So,
have you ever watched the Interstellar movie? No. Matthew McConaughey? No.
Matthew McConaughey? No.
So
what's the name of it?
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
So it's a very interesting futuristic movie, and in one word, the basic message of the movie is that love goes through everything. Love goes through time, gravity, everything. So like,
Yeah.
so if we are existing in a multi-dimension, so not only or 4-dimensional world, I mean 3-dimension plus time plus, there are many theories, but love is something that really goes through everything, ages, dimensions, everything. And
Yeah.
and but also for me this is very interesting, that you know, when you feel a romantic love, can it be pure? Can it be like real honest love, or is it like, oh, I love this person, she's mine, he's mine? So you know, when you start to own someone,
Yeah.
is it love?
I mean, no.
Or
That's
is it
ego.
yeah, it's just a psychological trick?
Yeah. And also like another one that is a dangerous one is like I love myself for being in love with this person. Well, I love the feeling of being in love. So then it has nothing to do with the other person or nothing to do with the relationship, but it's all about you. Then that it became a little bit, you know, when you confuse those things, it becomes a little bit definitely complicated. But I think even then you're learning, you're learning something interesting, that it's so also very human nature to to have the urge to possess something, to make something yours. You know, and we all make a mistake, you know, that is love, and then it's not. But you know, like we all live and learn, we get hurt, or like, you know, somebody did that to you and then you get really hurt by it, or you feel suffocated by it, like all of those things. But love is yeah, what is love? Like, you cannot say that in one word. It's like, of course, like if you read like a Hallmark card or whatever, some songs, I'm sure like they people say some catchy things, but love is, what is love? Love is life. Love is like life in a nutshell, I think, you know.
For example, now at this moment, with my age of 31,
My God,
I know this is
baby.
up to the aspect, you know, some people who are listening us, I'm already much advanced in age. Some of them I'm still a baby. But let's say what I learned in these years is we are so stupid, and so we are the victims of our psychology, of our ego. And the best what you can do is ask yourself every day, check yourself every day, what am I feeling? Is this feeling real? So for example, if you feel you can give love, you can do something for the person who you love, and even if she doesn't respond, it's fine, then you really love. If you need the feedback, it's already kind of fake.
Yes, but it's much easier said than done. You know, I agree with that. I do agree with you, but I think it's a lot easier said than actually achieving that, you know. I think what somebody said, this ego itself is not a bad thing. We all have ego, and then we have to realize that. That's a really important thing to realize. So we cannot suppress the ego. The ego should work for you. If the ego started overtake you, that's when you have a problem. So ego can be a very helpful thing for you to get a little bit of a boost to ask a girl out on a date. You know what I mean? Or like to, you know, the ego, because we are talking about the relationship thing. But so ego can be actually your ally. But ego can be your demon if you just let ego run free through you. So I think it's when you love someone, and then if you want something in return, is it really automatically bad? I don't necessarily think it's automatically bad, but
it's not bad, but how to say, you cannot call it pure love. I mean, if you want something back, that means it's already a kind of business-based something. So it's like economical, like give and take. Of course, it can mixed with love, but basically, a mother who loves the kid, she doesn't want anything back.
Right, exactly. But that love, that maternal love, is almost impossible to achieve with two human beings that does not share the same DNA, same anything. I think.
Case, I have to say, so to react a few things. First of all, what I really feel the biggest advance of being a musician is my whole childhood and my whole life is all about practicing. So having a pattern, what you make better, you try to master it, and there's a development progress, and so this is our life. And also I believe we can use the same skill, the skill of development, in such kind of things. Like, for example, I thought that to check ourselves every day, and this is also just one thing what you have to practice every day. And if you practice every day, it gets easier. And just to make it clear for everyone, to what is ego. Actually, last summer I was reading a book about this, and it was immediately, it made sense. I understood everything, but I think we never talk about ego in that way. So usually how we use ego is the real me, the selfish me, who wants everything, who wants to be in center. But actually ego is the fake personality. Actually, just one word about personality. In the ancient Greek, so persona means it was a kind of mask, what they used in theater. So it was already not the person itself. It was something that you show to outside. Also, we have many kind of personalities. When you talk with me, or when you talk with your mother, or you change something. We have many layers of the personalities, and so ego is something what is not you. Ego is something what life builds up to have a self-image. Already the reactions from your parents, how they react to you when you are a baby, the feedbacks from outside, everything what you get from other people, it builds your ego. But actually it's not you. And for example, also I told you the Indo guy, Sadhguru, in many videos he says that before you go to sleep, just check everything, that is my car, is it me? No, it's not me. It's not part of who I am. Is this house? Oh, I love my house. Is this? No, it's not me. Your clothes is what you wear. Is it you? No. Your wife, your husband, is it you? No. You want to feel, and also the same with relationships. You want to feel, oh, this boy or girl or someone. So this is, I feel myself through this person. No, that person is not me. And so ego is created every day, and this is why I feel that, yes, you're right. It's not easy, but I have to say, not easy for average person, because who makes her life just going through. But I think musicians are special. because we already train ourselves to understand and develop and practice, even if it's not easy, especially if it's not easy. Because most of the average people, and of course no offense, so it's not like we are better or something. No, we are better to do these kind of things. So this is or something what we practiced, and I think this is the biggest advantage. I'm sorry,
Yeah, it's a good point.
I interrupted you about.
No, not at all. No, I think you're right. And then we do have that. Yeah, I also would like to say that we are not saying that the musicians are better than other kind of people or any of those things. But it comes with our work territory that we are trying to work on things that it's not solvable. You know? I met a mathematician once. He's a world-renowned mathematician, amazing person. I had never met him before. I knew about him. And, it was like, very nice to meet you. And then we started talking. And then he asked me, what do you do? What I do? So I said, well, I'm a musician. And he's like, oh, so you and I do exactly the same thing. And then I was like, okay, maybe. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to understand your comment, And he was like, we both are trying to solve something that we cannot solve. And knowing that we cannot solve, we still do it. So that makes us the most romantic people. That I thought was so true. So we are, in a way, very good at, like you said, especially when things are not easy. We can thrive in that because we find certain kind of romance in it, So, I think the musicians and mathematicians maybe are good at those kind of ultimate unconditional love that is, I still say, almost impossible to achieve. Therefore, we try to achieve. Nobody can perfect it. If somebody perfected it and then started writing a book, then that's it. Everybody do the same thing, and then we don't need to do it anymore, right? But we continue to do it. Why? It's because it's mysterious. It's different. It's even if you perfected it, so you thought with one person, for whatever the reasons that didn't work out, and then you move on to the next one, you apply the same formula. It's a complete different thing, right? So, it's that's what I mean by it's a lot easier said than done. I'm not saying that it's whatever. I'm not dismissing the idea. I think it is correct, but it's not easy, and because it's not easy, we continue to try.
Give me a final message. Of course, people who are listening us, they have many kind of variety in relationships. Maybe some of them are married, some of them are not, some of them are very young and before all of these things, and what they should take care about.
Dive in head first, but always look after yourself. It is so lovely to, and then I have been there too, be in so much in love to a point that you become the other person. Do you know the feeling, And that is such a glorious, beautiful feeling for a while. But always know. So I'm not even gonna say that don't do it, because that's the moment that I say don't do it, that's the only thing you wanna do it. And you can't help it, right? So like when you do it, whatever. But also just remember that if you can't look after yourself, you can't love anybody else, really. Put on your, whatever mask first before assisting your, like when you get on a plane and when they ask for, oxygen mask and whatever. It is true.
Yeah.
Put on your own oxygen mask first before assisting other people. That is, at the end of the day, it is true. If you want to be loved, you have to love yourself. If you want to make a successful relationship, remember, us is on top of you.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. So it's your life, your partner's life, and then the life together.
Yeah, so basically...
So that is the pillar.
Forget the bullshit of the other half of myself. No.
Say this again?
So forget the bullshit of the other half of myself. People say, my soulmate.
Yeah.
No, there is the 100% of you. And if you can feel it, if you can accept it, if you can love that person, then every other thing is just an extra. But definitely...
Exactly. And then extra that makes your life so much richer. So like, I'm not saying that it's extra, so whatever, take it or leave it. No, it's like, definitely go for it. Wholeheartedly, head first, go for it. But no, the other person is not you.
Yeah.
The other person is not, it's you might feel like I love this person so much to a point that I feel like that, and that's okay. That's totally fine. That's totally healthy. But if you mistake that two of us becomes like, then that's a little bit dangerous, I think. That's me, an old woman speaking. And then in Japan, you have to respect the elderly. So when I speak, you have to listen. That goes to you, Kohán, because you're way younger than me.
Yes, because if you don't know, Kari is 58 at this very moment.
No, I'm
But she looks very young.
I try.
No, just joking. Kari is 26. All time 26.
I'm 26. Oh yes, always 26. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is where we leave it today.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you thought about it. What is love? I want to hear some comment. What is love? Can you put some "What is love" soundtrack underneath?
Yeah, I try.
Yeah.
What is this? This is Bon Jovi?
Yeah. Well, just sing. You can make up stuff.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that would be fine too. So that we are not gonna get in trouble with the copyright and all that stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah. All right.
If you watched until this point, you are a hero. You are a real hero.
You are. And are you in love? If you are, tell us. Right.
Okay, Kakari, this is not fair. Of course, they fall in love with you. Of course, so they are watching, and so I'm sure even if this is my channel, maybe they are watching because of you. So
no. I highly doubt this. I think everybody's in love with you.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to say that. Thank.
I know. That's why I just went there for you. How's that?
Okay, so.
All right.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.